This is Kathy Biehl of EmpowermentUnlimited.net with Astro-Insight for the month of December 2024. Three big threads run through December. One lasts the entire month and involves our values, resources, and relationships. One dominates the first half of the month and stirs second looks, do-overs, confusion, and dramatic action on what we find. Connected to this thread is the third, drawing increasing attention to mushrooming and at times dueling perspectives, beliefs, and chatter, which ultimately coalesce into a solid form. The first thread comes from Venus's journey, which affects and to a degree describes our environment for the month. She is the social director of the sky and sets the tone for our interactions and desires of the moment. Her moves take values, resources, and relationships from awakening and liberation to focusing and sharp, forced changes. The second thread comes from two retrogrades in fire signs, Mercury in Sagittarius through December 15th, and Mars in Leo starting December 6th. The pair are occasioning high energy revisiting and investigating, intentionally or not, with a probability of uncovering confusion, reworking or finishing situations, and, beware, tripping on our tongues and shoelaces. Their 10-day overlap culminates in teamwork that facilitates sharing and acting on what we've encountered during the retrogrades. The third involves a square between seemingly diametrically opposed forces. Jupiter, pushing for more of all things Gemini, information streams, options, distractions, tricks, duplicity, and Saturn advocating order, structure, responsibility, and consequences. Their conflicting demands build all month. They've been with us since August, actually, and hit a form of resolution by December 24th. All three threads tie to the beginning of the month and spool out at differing rates. The launching point is the Sagittarius new moon, December 1st, ruled by Jupiter and in the sign of Mercury's retrograde. The event marks a moment of refreshing belief systems, political agendas, ability to laugh, and more, with a push to rein in self-righteousness and act responsibly from the moon and Jupiter forming a T-square to stabilizing Saturn. Mercury joins Jupiter December 4th. What discoveries and causes for laughter will that bring? Then delivers some personal clarity when he meets the Sun December 5th. Meanwhile, Venus is in steely-eyed calculating mode, fixed on both cost and lasting value in the goal-oriented, work-oriented sign of Capricorn. Shop while Venus is in Capricorn and you will gravitate toward useful, sensible items and gifts, time-proven and durable. Sudden, effortless breakthroughs, awakenings, and innovations kick off the month when Venus trines quick-change artist Uranus December 2nd. Hearts may soon soften. Nostalgia and compassion may permeate concrete worldly desires as Venus sextiles Neptune, her higher counterpart in inspiration and love, 2 days later. The friend zone takes over December 7th, when she enters the pack mentality of Aquarius. We're less concerned with tradition and work and inclined toward breathing room, group activities, and palling around rather than intense one-on-ones. Although some level of intensity is on the schedule because as she steps into Aquarius, she meets with Pluto, her higher counterpart in money and desire. It's the first conjunction with Pluto since the Regenerator entered Aquarius, and it imprints the next 2 decades of him in the sign. The effect is immediate and extreme. Deep and profound recognition is probable of allies, of desires you cannot live without, of people who mean so much it's hard to formulate words. So are permanent changes in your socializing and pursuits, with Venus wielding Pluto's scalpel to cut back circles and desires. So are permanent changes in your socializing and pursuits and values, with Venus wielding Pluto's scalpel to cut back circles and interests. Pluto's brief time in Aquarius has already directed your focus to people, resources, pastimes, and ways of being that fit your new vision of reality. Likely the ones that fall away now took hits over the past year and a half, while Pluto peered through the doorway to the future and cannot survive one more touch of the scalpel. We have anesthesia as well as higher help. As Venus and Pluto meet, illusionist Neptune is stationing direct, ending the retrograde he's been in since July 2nd. Because he will not move off his current degree until early February, the shift in orientation promises a slow rollout of change in perceptions of what has recently passed. The turnaround stirs and clears clouds of confusion and worse, and opens us to compassion, guidance, and incredible inspiration, and perhaps forgiveness and well wishes for those we are leaving. Before she moves ahead, our energies turn backward. Mars stations retrograde December 6th at the beginning of self-expressive Leo. He'll re-enter Cancer a month later and station direct on February 23rd. His reverse march encourages being more inward, or at least more quiet, than usual for this time of year. Since Leo is the sign of the child, activities and people from celebrations long ago will be back in your thoughts, if not physical reality. The usual cautions against launching new projects, making big purchases, or signing important papers go double, with both Mercury and Mars retrograde from December 6th through 15th. Clearing up old business may be different. If circumstances require going against the cautions, know that you may be able to revisit the matter later. Maybe. Learn more in my Mercury retrograde guide at Ohm Times and my discussion of the Mars retrograde in Leo and Cancer at my Patreon. Meanwhile, Venus and Pluto are still showing their work. Refocusing and paring back create room for movement and expansion. Mid-month brings a peppy, chatty atmosphere. Reach out, make plans, and above all, talk. Venus sextiles Mars December 12th and encourages collaboration and cooperation and having some fun. You may be done with some of it. The impact of the chatter hits at the Gemini full moon December 13th, which is pumped up by its ruler Jupiter saying more, more, more. You may be pulled in multiple directions and not sure yet what to release. The full moon is caught in a grand cross with both Mercury retrograde and Neptune, making it hard to know who or what to believe. And then, whoosh, the logjam breaks. Exciting developments flow when Mercury trines Mars while stationing direct December 15th. Follow your energies. Follow your instincts. You'll be acting on what you've picked up during Mercury's retrograde. Socializing goes over the top when Venus trines her counterpart in indulgence, Jupiter, on December 19th. Asking for what you want is in the air. The noise level promises to be high and bright, too, with people texting, posting, commenting, and even talking directly. Plan parties now because Christmas time itself won't be quite so jolly. The buzz is still in the air at the solstice, December 21st, when the sun enters Capricorn and marks the start of winter in the northern hemisphere, summer in the southern. This season comes with uncomfortable reminders that both we and the season are different this time around, with a semi-sextile from the sun to Pluto nagging us to drop the old. In a related vein, the Mars retrograde has us reconsidering how we go about our life, and especially how we did. When his inconjunct to the sun calls for tweaks and adjustments December 23rd. The demand to contain the chatter and chaos builds to a head December 24th, when Jupiter and Saturn complete the second of 3 squares. The first was August 19th, with Venus and Virgo joining Saturn in a T-square, pressuring Jupiter. The third comes June 15th, when they have moved into Aries and Cancer. The impact spans December 24th to 27th, thanks to Mercury, now direct, remember, squaring first Jupiter and then Saturn. The configuration creates another T-square, this time to Saturn, demanding order, accountability, and adulting. It's not a formula for high-spirited celebrating. The gift of this Christmas and Hanukkah could be stability, maybe even sanity. And then we're in for novelty, for shakeups, for plot twists all around. As the month and the year wind down, Venus and Uranus collide and deliver late-breaking surprises. Something else you need to let go of? Lightning will zap you out of it. There's an odd congruence to the jolts, though. The aspect may be a brittle, action-demanding square, but Venus and Uranus are working in tandem. They're in a relationship called mutual reception, with each in the sign the other rules. Something about the plot twists feels right, beneficial, or at least inevitable. We end the year making goals at the Capricorn new moon, December 30th. Wisdom and spiritual understanding are at the ready to form and nourish them from a sextile to Saturn. It's a serious end to the year, equal parts grounding and solemn. Take care of your own little corner of the world. Make room for magic and love. Venus and Neptune ring out the year with a semi-sextile, reminding us that there's more to life than money and possessions. Next year will be wildly different, wildly empowering, just plain wild. Take this time to settle into what brings you comfort and joy. I'm Kathy Biehl, a professional astrologer with more than 30 years' experience. Visit my site, empowermentunlimited.net, to sign up for my mailing list, listen to my weekly podcasts, and book a session with me. I have lots of bonus content at patreon.com/Kathy Biehl, and I'm really grateful to the people who support my work there. I host the show Celestial Compass on Om Times Radio and TV on the first and third Monday of every month at 5 p.m. Eastern. I also host lively conversation on Facebook, on the page Empowerment Unlimited, and in the group, the Astro-Insight Lounge. I post on Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky at Kathy Biehl, and on YouTube at the Professional Aquarian Channel.